All right, everybody, welcome to another deep dive. This time we're going deep on Apple Intelligence. You guys sent in a ton of articles, so obviously you're super curious about this. And we're excited to dig in, too, and kind of figure out what this means, how this is going to change our Apple experience.
Yeah, and the interesting thing here is that Apple Intelligence isn't a separate app.
Yeah.
It's not something you got to download. It's not like a robot butler kind of following you around or anything. It's built right into the Apple tools that I bet you are already using.
So it's less about like launching something totally new and more about making the stuff we already have way smarter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think Apple's approach with this is about practicality and seamless integration. It's about making your life easier and making your devices more capable without having like a huge learning curve or anything.
I like that. Okay, I'm intrigued. So the articles mention that Apple Intelligence is going to be amazing at summarizing things. Like imagine you get a 20-page report in your inbox. I don't know about you, but my eyes would totally glaze over.
Oh yeah, mine too. But with Apple Intelligence, you could get a summary right there in Messages. So it just pulls out the key points so you could decide if you actually need to dive into the whole thing or not.
That's pretty cool. So no more information overload.
Right, exactly.
What else can it do?
Well, think about the writing tools feature. It can do way more than just spell check. It can actually summarize text, it can proofread your writing, and it can even help you maintain your own unique voice while making your writing clearer.
Wait, so it helps you write better, but it still sounds like you.
Yeah, that's the goal. For anyone who does a lot of writing, like emails, reports, blog posts, this could be a total game changer.
Yeah, I can already see how that would be a lifesaver for me. I am seeing a lot about this visual search feature. What is that all about?
Yeah, so visual search lets you identify objects or landmarks in the real world just by taking a picture of them. So let's say you're walking down the street and you see a cool pair of shoes that you like. Take a picture of them. Visual search can identify the brand, the model, where to buy them, and it can even compare prices for you.
Whoa, so it's like having a personal shopper right in your pocket. There's more,
Yeah.
right? They're giving Siri a serious upgrade with this Apple Intelligence.
You got it. So remember how Siri used to feel a bit limited? Well, Apple Intelligence makes Siri way more contextually aware. So that means that Siri actually understands what you're doing on your device and responds in a way that makes sense.
So it's like Siri is finally catching up with the times and getting a brain boost.
Exactly. So for example, let's say you're looking at a flight confirmation email.
Mm-hmm.
Siri could actually proactively suggest adding the flight to your calendar, setting a reminder to pack, even checking the weather at your destination. It's all about anticipating your needs.
That's impressive. It sounds like they're really trying to make Siri a more helpful and integrated part of the Apple experience. So you're in your email, Siri pops up and is like, hey, I can help with that.
Exactly. And it gets even better. You need to edit a photo and send it in a message. Siri can handle it all without you having to switch between apps.
Okay, think about how much time that could save you. Okay, my mind is officially blown. This is way more than just a few new features. It seems like Apple Intelligence is really going to change how we use our Apple devices like every day.
Yeah, it really does feel like a fundamental shift.
Yeah.
But I think what's really important here is that Apple seems to be focusing on user privacy alongside all this new functionality.
Yeah,
And that brings us to their private cloud compute system.
right. Because with all this powerful AI at work, I have to admit I'm a little concerned about where all my data is going.
Yeah, it's a valid concern.
Mhm.
But Apple has thought about that too. The idea behind private cloud compute is that most of the AI processing actually happens right on your device, not on some distant server farm,
Okay.
which keeps your data more secure.
So my data isn't constantly being beamed up to Apple HQ.
Not at all. Data is only sent for really complex queries that need extra processing power. So this approach offers faster processing without sacrificing your privacy. It's
Yeah.
a win-win.
All right, so far so good. They've got me hooked on the convenience and the privacy aspects. But the articles also mention this partnership with ChatGPT. And I have to admit, that's the part that has me a little nervous.
I understand it is a big development. But before you worry about an AI takeover, let's clarify that this isn't a Siri replacement.
Phew, okay, that's a relief. So how does this ChatGPT integration actually work?
It's all about giving you more choices. So users can opt in to ChatGPT assistance for specific tasks. So let's say Siri can't find you that recipe for vegan Ethiopian food you're craving.
Ooh, that sounds delicious. But yeah, I could see Siri struggling with that one.
Exactly. You could then choose to tap into ChatGPT's vast knowledge base for help. It's like having a specialist on call for those really specific questions.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this could be incredibly useful. But wait, there's more. Isn't there something about ChatGPT being integrated into other apps too?
You're right. They're also integrating ChatGPT into the Compose tool within apps like Messages, Mail, and Notes.
So if I'm struggling to write that perfect email or I need some brainstorming help for a project, ChatGPT can kind of jump in and offer suggestions.
That's the idea. Imagine having a co-writer who can help you generate content and refine your ideas right within your usual workflow.
This is sounding less like AI takeover and more like AI dream team.
That's a great way to put it. And it's important to remember that with this integration, you still have control. You choose when and how to use ChatGPT assistance. It's there to enhance your capabilities, not replace them.
Okay, I'm getting a much clearer picture now. Apple Intelligence is shaping up to be a really powerful set of tools that could really change how we use our devices. So we've covered a lot of ground practical applications, seamless integration with existing tools, a strong emphasis on user privacy, and now this exciting partnership with ChatGPT. I'm definitely starting to see the potential here.
Absolutely. But I think it's important to remember that this is just the beginning. Apple Intelligence is still evolving, and it'll be fascinating to see how these features develop and how users adapt to them.
Yeah, agreed. This is just the tip of the iceberg, and we've got a lot more to explore. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's take a closer look at how all of this new technology might impact the way we work and communicate.
Sounds good to me. Let's dive into that next. So let's talk about, the potential impact on work. We know Apple Intelligence is all about making things easier and more efficient.
Right, we've already seen how it could help us write better and faster, find information quickly, and even manage our schedules more effectively. But how do you see all of this playing out in the workplace?
Well, for one, I think it could lead to increased productivity. Imagine being able to draft emails in a flash, summarize lengthy reports in seconds, and research complex topics without having to sift through, mountains of data. That frees up a lot of time and mental energy to focus on the bigger picture on strategy and creativity.
Okay, so less time on the tedious stuff and more time for actual thinking and problem solving. That definitely sounds like a win.
It does. And think about the potential for collaboration. Imagine teams being able to brainstorm and share ideas more seamlessly, leveraging AI tools to analyze data and generate insights together. It could lead to faster decision-making and more innovative solutions.
That's a great point. It's not just about individuals working faster, it's about teams working smarter. It could really change how we approach projects and solve problems. But what about the potential downsides? There are a lot of people worried that AI is going to take their jobs.
Yeah, that's a valid concern, and it's something we need to be talking about. It's likely that some tasks will become automated, which could lead to job displacement in certain sectors. But it's important to remember that AI is also creating new opportunities. Jobs that require critical thinking, creativity, and complex problem solving are less likely to be automated.
So it's not necessarily about jobs disappearing, but rather about jobs evolving.
That's a good way to think about it. We may see a shift in the types of skills that are in demand as AI takes on more routine tasks. Adaptability and lifelong learning will become even more crucial in the future workforce.
It makes sense the more we can offload the repetitive tasks to AI, the more we can focus on developing the uniquely human skills that AI can't replicate.
Exactly. And there's also the potential for AI to create entirely new industries and job roles that we can't even imagine yet. Think about it, just a few years ago, who could have predicted the rise of social media managers or drone operators?
You're right, we're only just scratching the surface of what's possible with AI. It's exciting and a little bit daunting at the same time.
It is, and the impact goes beyond the workplace. Let's think about how AI is going to change the way we communicate with each other.
Okay, that's a big one. I can already see how Apple Intelligence could make communication faster and more efficient. But are we talking about something more profound than just faster emails and text messages?
I think so. AI has the potential to break down language barriers and make communication more accessible for everyone. Imagine real-time translation tools that allow people from different cultures to communicate effortlessly, or AI-powered assistive technologies that enable people with disabilities to communicate more easily.
That's incredible. It's not just about convenience, it's about creating a more inclusive and connected world.
And think about the potential for personalized communication. AI could help us tailor our messages to specific audiences, ensuring that our communication is clear, impactful, and resonates with the people we're trying to reach.
So no more generic mass emails that end up in the spam folder.
Exactly. AI could help us craft messages that are relevant and engaging, fostering stronger connections and more meaningful interactions.
Okay, now I'm really starting to see the bigger picture. Apple Intelligence isn't just about making our devices a little bit smarter. It's about transforming how we work, communicate, and even how we connect with the world around us.
That's a great way to put it. But it's also important to remember that AI is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill.
That's a good reminder. We need to be thinking about the ethical implications of AI as it becomes more integrated into our lives.
Absolutely. We need to ensure that AI is developed and used responsibly with a focus on fairness, transparency, and human well-being. We need to be having conversations about how to mitigate the potential risks of AI, like bias and job displacement, while also maximizing its potential for good.
It sounds like we've got some big questions to grapple with as we move forward into this new era of AI.
We do,
Right.
but I think it's an exciting challenge. We have the opportunity to shape the future of AI and ensure that it benefits all of humanity.
Okay, you've given us a lot to think about. From the workplace to the way we connect with each other, it seems like Apple intelligence and AI in general is going to touch every aspect of our lives.
It is, and it's happening faster than most people realize.
Yeah.
Key is to stay informed, engage in these conversations, and be proactive in shaping the future we want to create.
Well said. So we've talked about work communication and even some of the ethical considerations, but there's another big piece of the puzzle that we haven't touched on yet, creativity.
You're right, that's a whole other dimension of AI that's just starting to be explored. And it's potentially one of the most exciting and transformative aspects of all of it. Let's dive into that next.
Okay, so we've talked about how AI might revolutionize like the way we work and communicate, but what about its impact on creativity? This is where things get really interesting, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, for a long time, people thought creativity was something uniquely human, like something that AI could never replicate. But
Yeah.
we're starting to see that that's not necessarily true.
I'm all ears. How is AI changing the creative game?
I'll think about music. Like AI can now compose original melodies and harmonies, create these complex soundscapes, and even write lyrics. And we're not just talking about like generic background music here. Some AI-generated music is actually winning awards and topping the charts.
Wow, so AI is composing hit songs now. That's wild. What about other forms of art?
It's happening everywhere. AI can create stunning visual art. It can generate realistic 3D models. It can write poetry screenplays. It can even choreograph dances. It's like having a whole team of creative collaborators at your fingertips, pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
I have to admit, this is blowing my mind a little bit. It sounds like AI is going to become a really powerful tool for artists and creatives of all kinds.
Absolutely. And it's not about replacing human creativity, but rather augmenting it. AI can handle some of the more technical or repetitive aspects of creative work, freeing up artists to focus on the vision and the emotional impact. It's like having an AI assistant who can take care of the details while you focus on the big picture.
So instead of spending hours trying to get that perfect brushstroke or struggling with writer's block, artists can kind of collaborate with AI to bring their ideas to life more quickly and efficiently.
That's the idea, and it's opening up all these new avenues for creative expression. Think about like someone who has a great story idea, but they don't have the technical skills to write a screenplay or something. AI could help them turn that idea into a finished product,
Mm.
allowing more voices to be heard and more stories to be told.
That's pretty incredible. It sounds like AI is almost democratizing creativity, making it more accessible to everyone. But what about originality? Can AI really create something truly unique, something that hasn't been done before?
Yeah, that's a great question. Right now, most AI-generated content is based on existing data and patterns. But as AI evolves, it's starting to break free from those constraints and generate truly original ideas. It's still
Yeah.
early days. But the potential for AI to kind of push the boundaries of human imagination is enormous,
Yeah, it's exciting and a little bit unnerving at the same time. It makes you wonder, what does it even mean to be creative in a world where AI can just create anything you can imagine?
right? That's the big question, isn't it? I think it challenges us to redefine what we value in creativity.
Yeah.
It's no longer enough to simply be technically skilled. We need to cultivate those uniquely human qualities like emotional intelligence, empathy, and the ability to connect with others on a deeper level. I think those are the qualities that will set us apart in a world where AI can replicate almost anything.
So in a way, AI is forcing us to become even more human.
I think that's a beautiful way to put it. It's pushing us to evolve, to embrace our strengths, and to explore what it truly means to be creative.
This has been an incredible deep dive. We've covered so much ground, from the practical applications of Apple Intelligence in our daily lives, to the potential impact on work communication, and even the future of creativity. It's clear that AI is going to be a major force in our lives, and it's up to us to shape how that unfolds.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. This is a conversation we need to be having, and it's a journey we need to take together.
We've explored a lot of possibilities today, but ultimately, the future of AI is being written right now, and you are a part of that story. As you start using Apple Intelligence and encounter AI in other areas of your life, pay attention to how it makes you feel, what excites you, what concerns you. Your experiences and insights will help shape the future of this technology.
Yeah, and remember, the most important thing is to stay curious, stay informed, and keep asking questions.
Absolutely. That's what the deep dive is all about. Thanks for joining us on this exploration of Apple Intelligence. Until next time, keep diving deep